Guys, my name is Nonema Tikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about Uzungu, Constable Zungu, and everything that has to do with him and the Senzo Meyiwa case, and the possibilities that has to do with him making statements about the Senzo Meyiwa case. Before we do that, guys, please make sure you do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end, and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you'll be supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Now, let's talk about Zungu. Now, General Shabane tells us that, okay, let me put it this way. If General Shabane says that, according to Zungu, Brigadier Geninda threatened to arrest Constable Zungu unless he writes false statements implicating the general in a taxi violence crimes, then the courtroom issues becomes, for me, was Zungu giving independent evidence, or was Zungu allegedly being managed, pressured, or weaponized by Geninda for the Senzo Meyiwa murder case? Am I making sense? That is the center of the explosion for me, because if you are listening to the general, he is very convincing. He sounds truthful. He sounds intelligent. He sounds like someone who is here to fix the record and put it straight, because there are some things that are not put on record straight as what they are. That is how he sounds like. Now, that is the center of the explosion for me, because Zungu was allegedly working under Geninda at Tembisa police station, if I'm not mistaken. There is a direct power imbalance right there, because Geninda was a colonel, if I'm not mistaken. Also, yes, no, I'm not mistaken. He was a colonel at the time. Geninda is a senior investigator, and he is an authority figure, which is he's higher than Zungu. Zungu is a subordinate constable to Geninda. Now, there is also the statement issue, which is allegedly demanded under threat from Uzungu by Geninda. Also, its target was General Lushebane. If why General Lushebane was a target of Geninda, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe General is not yet telling us, or maybe someone is not yet asking him, or they have not asked him that question yet. And Kotra, we are not going to get that question from Ubaloi. Maybe because of court laws and procedures, that question is not supposed to be asked also. I don't know. Now, the outcome of all of that pressure is that Zungu later becomes important in the Senzo Meyiwa murder narrative, because Zungu now has written 2020, the statement. Or it was 2020 when Zungu, 2020, when Zungu was went to Lishebane regarding this so-called, because after he was threatened, he ran to Lishebane and went to speak to him. Geninda is forcing me to write a statement about you, to implicate you in taxi violence crimes. I don't know why and how, or the linkage of all of that. I'm not quite sure, because those details are not directly okay, let me not say direct, are not really put out there by General, but he is just, it's a via kind of vibes that he is saying he's doing there. Now, that creates a very dangerous question for the state. If pressure was allegedly used around one statement to implicate the general, what would make Geninda not put another pressure on Zungu to do the statement that he did for 2023 now, 31st May, for the Senzo Meyiwa case? You guys would remember that we said that statement is not even making sense. Now, do you see how it looks like this 31st May statement was born? Do you see now that how it looks like it was born? Because there was threats, there was coercion, there was torture. No, he did not claim torture, but there was emotional torture, let me put it that way. Psychological torture also. Now, how does the court trust the independence of other statements connected to the same investigation machinery? Does that make sense? Why the Edenvale transfer matters? Zungu tells us, General Lishebane tells us Zungu ended up asking for a transfer because he was working under Gininda. Hence, he was transferred to Sebenza police station, I think, at Edenvale because of what was happening. Now, General Lishabane moving Zungu from Tembisa to Edenvale can be framed in two ways. The state may say, no, this was a normal management. A senior officer can move members operationally, nothing sinister there. But the defense may argue, no, the transfer shows there was already a problem around Zungu, Gininda, Tembisa, and internal pressure. Something was going on there. And also, again, this is Zungu. I remember asking this question when it comes to Zungu. Why would Zungu just get up and decide to go havoc on his family like that? What was happening? There's a lot. So this Edenvale becomes more than a police station transfer. It becomes a timeline marker. Before the trial, before the current accused, before the courtroom drama, there was already tension around Zungu's version because Gininda seemingly is a threatener. He's that person who threatens people. Now, the legal danger when it comes to this, the defense does not even need to prove immediately that Gininda forced Zungu into writing that 31st May statement. What they need is to create reasonable doubt about voluntariness of statement. Was Zungu speaking freely when he did that statement? And mind you, the person who took down the statement for Zungu is no other than Gininda himself. Also remember, the person who took General Lishebane's statement is no other than Gininda himself. Secondly, independence of witnesses. Was his evidence his own or shaped by senior officers? Now we are questioning the evidence of Zungu due to what is happening and what we are hearing now. Thirdly, credibility of the investigation. Was evidence discovered naturally or constructed around a preferred narrative? Number 4, possible witness condemnation. Did later statements begin to match a version because people were pressured into alignment? What's going on here? What's going on here? That is why this is so shocking in all angles of being shocked, because the issue stops being, is Zungu lying? It becomes who was behind Zungu's version and why. Now we are curious. Now the Gininda problem. Gininda's name keeps appearing in too many sensitive places. Statements, confessions, witnesses, investigative links, and now allegedly the pressure around Zungu. That gives the defense a powerful theme. The case may not be built on independent witnesses. It may be built on controlled witnesses. And once that argument enters the courtroom, every statement connected to Gininda becomes vulnerable, not automatically destroyed, but vulnerable. The general's strongest angle can go when it comes to all of this. General Lishabane's evidence becomes dangerous because he is not just denying Zungu, he is suggesting there was a backstory involving Gininda, Zungu, Tembisa Sebs, taxi violence allegations, a threat of arrest, and a false statement. That means Zungu's evidence may not be random. It may have history. And if Zungu's evidence has history, then the defense can argue the court must be extremely careful before relying on Zungu. Now, this line here, listen to this. My lord, this is no longer just contradiction. This is an allegation that a witness was threatened into manufacturing a statement. If that is true, then the court is not dealing with evidence. The court is dealing with an investigation that may have been engineered by Gininda. Now, that is exclusive because it attacks the source of the evidence, not just the evidence itself. Zungu was not just some outsider who walked into court with a clean version. According to this angle, he was a junior officer under Gininda. allegedly threatened by Geninda, allegedly pushed to implicate Lishebane, and later became part of the trial narrative that the state needed. Let that sink in. The state needed. So the question becomes, was Zungu a witness or was Zungu a tool? And if the court cannot answer that clearly, then the state has a serious credibility problem. And mind you, Zungu becomes a tool where, under the so-called investigation of an IO called who? Geninda, the same IO who is said to be the leader in this Senzo Meyiwa case investigation. I don't know if anything makes sense to you, but I want to hear your views. Let's talk with comment section. Thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.